about the dramatic consequences of climate change, so I won't talk about that today. Instead, I'd like to relate my personal experience coming into a career in sustainability. After a few months of carefree campus life at HEC, I felt deeply upset, realizing that the careers it was leading me to were the main cause of this environmental collapse. I discovered at the same time the mechanisms of financial markets and the huge amounts of money that kept financing fossil fuels. I learned about both marketing theories and the negative impacts of overconsumption and greenwashing. I saw the same companies at the career fair and in polluters ranking. And yet, despite this distress, I felt part of a whole movement, including le Manifeste étudiant pour un réveil écologique and its 30,000 signatories. The creation of HEC Transition and its 3,000 members. I chose a career in sustainability to embrace this collective movement. It gives me strength daily, it calms my eco-anxiety, and it increases my conviction that the more we work in that direction, the faster we move forward. Global warming isn't binary. We'll never be able to check a box and say, did we save the world, yes or no? It's a continuous evolution, and it's determined by each piece in the system. Internship after internship, our two promotions entered the professional world, becoming one of these cogs, un des rouages du système. First, there are the business-as-usual people, who believe that climate change is just one issue among others, and that it's not really their jam. Then there is the broad spectrum of those who are aware of the problem and question their personal impact, but keep their jobs and go on with their lives feeling a bit guilty. And then there are those who try to go all the way in this necessary shift. Each of these cogs drives the system and the ecosystems. This is simply the reality of our professional world for the next 40 years. So the question is, which will you be? In these decades of professional life, we have the opportunity to make history, to stop perpetuating a financial and commercial system that goes way beyond planetary boundaries, to stop that spiral that will affect humanities for centuries to come. HEC opens many doors for us. It's our responsibility now to use those open doors to change the rules. It's our responsibility to show that the confidence we've gained here, all the things that would allow us to be at the top of the system, will be used to deeply transform it. If we have truly learned to dare, then we will dare to rethink our growth model, dare to radically transform our organizations right away, with ambition, with scientific evidence, with transparency, without lying, and without embellishment. It may be chosen by just a few HEC rebels today, but it must and will become mainstream tomorrow. Thank you to all employees and consultants who will refuse to work on ecocidial missions and to fly out for one business meeting. Thank you to the communicators who will decisively refuse greenwashing and choose to inform people with transparency. Thank you to the PhD students and researchers who will explore new models of sober and prosperous degrowth. Thank you to the teachers who will educate their students so that they can no longer ignore the problem. Thank you to the politicians who will implement strong and restrictive regulations. And finally, thank you to the activists, the deserters, who will push the limits of what is considered extreme to better inspire us into action.